When did this franchise stop being about dinosaurs? It started with mosquitoes in amber, and now we are here with this. Seriously, does this scream dinosaur to you? Because to me it looks like something that the Avengers would fight. Or maybe it belongs in the Cloverfield universe. This video is not just a review of Jurassic World Rebirth, but a reflection on the entire state of the new Jurassic World franchise. I would say Jurassic World Rebirth at best was okay. Not amazing, not terrible. But this movie made me realize something about the direction this franchise is taking. Something that has been bothering me for a while. So my question again, when did Jurassic Park stop being about dinosaurs? We are now at the point where we have hybrids, clones, bugs and monsters in our dinosaur universe. The franchise has drifted so far that now dinosaurs aren't even the main focus anymore. They are just a means to an end. I mean, what does any of this have to do with dinosaurs anymore? How did we get here and what's going on? To know the answer, we have to go back at the beginning and find out what made the original Jurassic Park work. When Jurassic Park hit theaters in 1993, it wasn't just a hit, it was a moment. It worked so well because somehow it all felt real. Not in a fantasy or over-the-top sci-fi way, but in a this could actually happen tomorrow kind of way. DNA from amber-trapped mosquitoes. Very believable for that time. It sparked real debates in news and classrooms. Around the same time, the cloning of Dolly the sheep was making headlines in the news. The first mammal cloned from cells. It made the concept of bringing extinct animals back to life real. My main point is that in the first Dinosaurs movie, the dinosaurs were actual dinosaurs. They felt like real animals. These ancient creatures behaved like real animals would do dropped into a theme park. They weren't evil, they weren't mutants, they weren't monsters. They were just part of nature. Then we had two sequels, The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. Sure, they had their flaws, but the dinosaurs still felt like animals caught in the wrong place. Not science experiments gone wrong. Compared to what came later, they almost feel restrained. The shift to spectacle. Fast forward to Jurassic World. Here's where it all started. For some reason in Jurassic World, suddenly regular dinosaurs weren't enough. Because, quote, the guests were bored with dinosaurs, end quote. Which is straight up nonsense. Imagine living in a world where you can actually see a dinosaur and you go meh. That doesn't make any sense. In the real world, every day people go to the zoo to see lions and elephants. Not only that, I still get excited if I see a random squirrel on a tree. And you're telling me that in a world with actual dinosaurs, people are bored with them. No way. But the writers used that logic to justify something new. This excuse was enough to justify that everything had to be bigger, scarier and over-engineered. This leads up to the hybrids. It all started with the hybrids. So what exactly is the Indominus Rex? It was a mix of a T-Rex, Velociraptor, tree frog and I don't know how many more species. Let's look at what makes the Indominus Rex special. It could camouflage, regulate its own heat signature, communicate with raptors and outsmart humans. This thing wasn't just intelligent, it was tactical, calculated, a living weapon in the skin of a dinosaur. It could solve problems in a unique way. Essentially, what I'm describing isn't a dinosaur. What I'm describing is the predator. A creature built for the hunt. Something that's just not built to survive, but to dominate, to outsmart, to kill. And once you cross that line, you are no longer telling a story about dinosaurs. You are telling a story about something else entirely. And to be fair, the Indominus Rex was a success. It felt fresh at the time, because it was something new and on the next level. But here's the issue. It worked exactly that one time. That should have been it. Instead, it became the new formula. A shiny new creature in every new movie. Each one more exaggerated than the last one. First we had the Indoraptor. Smaller than the Indominus, but faster and more agile. But it didn't stop here. They also cloned a human girl. Seriously, human cloning. What franchise is this even anymore? Then things got stranger. The mutant locusts in Dominion. At that point, you had to wonder, were we still watching a dinosaur movie? And now with the latest installment, Rebirth, it's an introduction of Distortus Rex and Mutadons. They are straight up from sci-fi and fantasy. The Distortus Rex resembles a Xenomorph from the Alien franchise. Meanwhile, the Mutadons look like creatures escaped from Game of Thrones. At this point, this doesn't feel like Jurassic Park anymore. It feels like Resident Evil with dinosaurs, where each new T-virus strain gives us different random mutations. And don't get me wrong, I love sci-fi. I love monsters, but dinosaurs aren't monsters, they are animals. With each new gimmick, we have been slowly drifting further and further away from what made the original Jurassic Park so good. The dinosaurs aren't science fiction monsters. They were real animals that existed once. The horror came from how real it all felt. What if dinosaurs never became extinct? How would humans even survive in a world where these massive creatures still roam around? But the franchise kept going. It started drifting away from the idea. The story became less about nature and survival, and more about crazy monsters. When dinosaurs feel like weapons, experiments, and alien-like monsters, the story loses its credibility. None of this feels like something we could achieve with real science. The more the franchise evolves, the further it drifts away from plausible science. It turns into something that feels completely out of reach. I know I have been harsh on this movie. That's why I want to show you that there was one scene in the movie that really felt like what the original Jurassic Park would do. It's a scene with the Mosasaurus and the Spinosauruses. For a brief moment, I actually felt like we were back to the real Jurassic Park, not some sci-fi monster movie. The Mosasaurus especially stood out. It didn't feel like a villain or some genetically engineered monster. It felt like an actual prehistoric animal, like a mix of a giant shark and whale, just looking for food. And we also saw its relationship with the Spinosaurus. I really liked how they didn't turn it into some forced giant dino battle. Instead, we got to see something unexpected. The Mosasaurus and the Spinosauruses teamed up. It actually felt like a real relationship we could see with other animals in real life, almost like a symbiotic one. We used to go into a Jurassic Park movie wondering, what if we brought this dinosaur back? And now we are wondering, what genetically modified monster are they going to show us this time? It's not just about Rebirth, it's about the whole direction this franchise is taking. The hybrids, clones and sci-fi monsters have taken center stage, pushing out the real stars, the dinosaurs themselves. Jurassic Park Rebirth had a few good moments, but sadly it doesn't change the fact that this franchise has been mutating in something unrecognizable. I don't think I'm the only one who feels this way. So anyway, these are my thoughts. So what do you think about the new direction this franchise is taking? Do you like it or not? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video.